Hi there and welcome back. In today's lesson, we're going to use what we learned previously about conditionals and put that into programming. Remember, conditionals are a piece of code that will only happen or will only start if something is right. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some coding that other people have created on Scratch and other programs that people have created on Scratch where they've used different conditionals to create it. All right, specifically looking at games. Okay, so let's have a look at this first one. The first one, we have Flying Scratch Cat Multiplayer, and it's by Cat Lover 976. So this is a game that you can go and have a look at, okay? You can use your arrow keys to move and collect the tacos to gain points. So if we open it nice and wide and we click play, you will see that as our cats collect the tacos or touch the tacos, the number is going up in the corner. All right, so we've got 3 different players, which means you can play with your friends. Okay, and that is how this game works. Right, if I stop it, let's have a look at what it looks like inside. Okay, so let's see all their awesome coding and how they've managed to make this game work. Okay, so let's have a look. It says here, when I receive joined, okay, set player 1's tacos to 0. Right, then forever, if we are touching a taco, so here's our conditional, if we're touching a taco, then the score goes up by 1. And we wait 1 second. All right. Then, when I receive joined, we want to forever go to this space. Okay. Having a look further as well. When we receive joins, this is all when you click play, right? If the player ID is 1, then the following is going to happen. Oopsie, let me put that code back in. So all of this is going to happen, right? Again, here you can see if we click the arrows, so here's another conditional. So if the up arrow is pressed, then we're going to change by 5. If the down arrow is pressed, that's another conditional. It's going to go down by -5. If the left arrow is clicked, there's another conditional. It's going to change again. And the same with the right arrow. Okay, and you'll see that this is the same type of code for each of the different colored cats. Okay, except they are player 1, player 2, and player 3. All right, and you'll see that for the tacos, I'll zoom out a little bit. Here we go. When I see joined, we want it to go to a random position and change the x-axis by 250 and repeat that 32 times. All right, and again, here's a nice long piece of code. All right, so when it changes, then it's when it gets touched by one of the cats, okay, then the following code will happen. So if it is touched by player 1, or player 2 or player 3, so there's another conditional for us, then it's going to change by the brightness that it has been set to. Okay, so that's a really, really fun game. So you can see how conditionals were used here to create a multiplayer game. Let's have a look at a different program that somebody else has created. All right, if we have a look here, someone has created an animation. All right, this is Pepino Pushkin. Okay, hopefully I've said that correctly, but you can go and look for their animation. All right, so here we've got a story about 2 dogs and they're fighting over a pillow. So if we open it up, we can see that here is the story. We've got the dogs, and we are going to have a look at their coding in a little bit. But as you watch, you will see that different things are happening. So remember that when we work on Scratch, not only can we create games, but you can also create different animation shows and videos for your friends or for yourself. Okay, so let's have a look at what that code looks like. Okay, so here we go. If we have a look, we've got, let's open here. All right, here we go. So we've got a whole bunch of things happening. So when we click, we want this to happen forever. We want, if it's costume 1, all right, so if the costume is number, all right, then this needs to happen. We're playing the gravel sound. If this is happening, then we need to play the dog barking. Right, so you can see that they've set up different things so that when a certain costume is on, or when the dog is looking a certain way or does a certain thing, then a certain sound is played. So that's another way that you can use your conditionals, is to play sounds when a certain action is happening. Okay, so that's also really, really cool. Okay, so you can see that they've got a lot of code that they've written, but what I really wanted to show you here was that you can use your conditionals when working with sound. All right, lastly, let's have a look at Minecraft. So this Minecraft version 5 is by Finlay_cool. All right, and you're going to use the W, the A, the S, and the D to move those letters. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the inside now. Right, let me just zoom out a little bit. There we go. So you can see that everything is set up. And if we have a look here, we've got some conditionals. So you're going to get him to draw. And if we go to the x-axis, which needs to be this, then we want certain things to happen. All right, so you can also tell it to do certain movements, and that will also change with your conditionals. All right, so if something is cloned, then we want it to be shown. All right. When we receive the update box, then we want this to happen. If this doesn't happen, we want it to set to 100%. So we want it to show itself at 100%. All right, so you'll see that there are lots of different things that he's created here, or she, where they've used different conditionals. All right, here again, we've got different conditionals where they're going to repeat the number costumes, and this is what needs to repeat. Okay, and that's another conditional over there. Okay, so you can see that there are many different ways that you can use your conditionals. So what I want you to do is I want you to go onto Scratch, have a look at other people's programs if you're not confident in your own yet, and really start to understand what they're doing. You can have a look inside like I did here, but you can also remix this. So let me quickly show you what that means. If you have a look here at the top next to where it says it was created by Finlay_cool, we can click the remix project. What this does is it allows us to create a copy that we can then play with, and we can change the coding of, so we can really see what happens and start to understand all the different blocks. Okay, I want you to really go and enjoy that and have fun, and I will see you next time.